Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Chase Archangelo, who will be fighting against Christian Marinozzi on Cage Thunder 28. Hello, Chase. How are you?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, thanks. And to be honest, I'm quite excited about your next fight because it will be a fight of two undefeated prospects on the amateur scene. So it like always, it's kind of crazy to watch young fighters to who are not even pro, but with big potential. So it's an exciting fight to see. So if you can
Yeah.
tell me, how do you feel few days before the fight?
I feel spectacular. I have a lot of really good training partners throughout this camp. AJ Dobson, current active UFC fighter. My boy Miles Robinson was a very good training partner for me as well, who was also about to be in the UFC. And then I got two of my teammates fighting on the same card as well. Ben Williford, 3-0 pro fighter, and then my friend Walter Sylvain. He's a 1-0 fighter. I mean, we've been very, very, very prepared for this camp. Super excited. We've got a lot of things to prove. That's for sure.
So it's probably good for you that you will be fighting with your like sparring partners, training partners on the same card.
Yeah, it's absolutely a blessing too, especially at the venue where it's at. The Jacobs Pavilion is a very legendary event venue. My teammate Stipe Miocic has fought there. Jessica I has fought there. Alexa Chamor also has fought there. And many Ohio legends have fought at the Nautica. And it's an absolute blessing to get the opportunity. And even also going in there with my teammates as well.
And you will be fighting against undefeated fighter, and of course you are also undefeated. You finished all of your opponents. What is I think also a very important thing. But did you have any chance to watch any of your opponents' fights?
Yeah, I mean I've watched a few of his film. I respect Christian very highly. He's a very skilled fighter. I think that he will be a very good test. I don't let his record fool you. I mean, he's very experienced. He's beaten two of my teammates, my former teammates. And I'm on the revenge tour. So anytime anyone beats my teammates, they put a name on my desk and I go out there and take them out. And Christian's a very game opponent. He's a very good fighter. Respect him. But at the end of the day, when they're locked in there with me, that goes away and I'm going out there to, punch his teeth in. And, just going out there, I know he's been training very hard for this, but he's fought at 55 twice and I haven't touched 155 in 5 years. And, there's different levels. I mean, he's a high school wrestler. I'm a collegiate wrestler. I wrestled Division I at the highest level. He wrestled it at a dinky high school. I mean, he's good. I give him that, but at the end of the day, there is levels to this, and I should be a professional already, but Ohio Commission, you need 6 or more fights or something like that. So, and I only compete against professionals, and I am a professional, and I want to go out there and show the different level between me and anyone else in this league, and gonna put my name on the map, absolutely for sure.
So probably with this win, there should be no question that there is a perfect time to go pro.
Yeah. I mean, I have one mindset and one mindset only. I'm going in there to smash this man. Like I am going in there to break his face and dismantle him and make sure he does not want to fight again. That's my job. And he's going to come out there and he's going to do the same exact thing. I'm not really a trash talker, but I will anticipate me trying to break this man. I want to permanently damage him to make sure he never wants to step in there with me again, and I just think that at the end of the day, we're in there, we're trying to get work, and we both have the same goal, and he's in my way, and I'm gonna forcefully move him and bring him to deep waters as best I can.
And of course, you finished all of your opponents, but
Mhm.
but what do you think about your cardio? Because probably you are one of the only people who know how good your cardio is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very cardio athlete anyway. I mean, I take my cardio very seriously over lifting. I mean, I train cardio and strength training 3 times a week. So hey man, I've run a lot of 5Ks. I've run a lot of things like that, but I know it's a different cardio. I have wrestling cardio. We have the best cardio. Um, I haven't really gone the distance too much. My only time uh I went the distance somewhat was my third fight, and I was fighting injured. And my cardio was just fine. I have not been punched, and he did not touch me. I was absolutely dragging him into deep waters. And but my cardio is, I don't question my cardio at all. I don't get tired at all, especially 3 minute rounds. I train 5 minute rounds anyway. When I'm in camp with the professionals, I go fives anyway, and threes are just warm ups to me. So I'm not really concerned about my cardio. I know that it's different when the setting hits in, but I'm a performer. I'm not really. I'm a very good practice guy, but I'm an outstanding performer. And some people can look real good when they fight in practice. They can beat everybody up at practice, but then when the lights are on, they're deer in headlights. And I am an absolute entertainer. I'm a performer. But that's just pretty simple to me. I go out there and I put my will on people, and I give the people what they want. And that's an ass beating. That's for sure.
And for this fight, because it's a very important fight. It's like probably your last amateur fight.
Yeah.
How many weeks did you have to prepare for this fight?
So we were deciding whether to fight in August. It was about. I mean, I'm always in camp anyway because I'm in the gym 6 times a week, 6 days a week. Excuse me. But I mean, I was already in camp, but it didn't really get as intense until 6 weeks because we were deciding because I got very sick months ago, and felt good, and then I felt like I got back to my normal self, and coach was testing me out, seeing how I was in the gym, and he gave me the green light. And we prepared very well this camp. We've done a lot of jujitsu because I know his jujitsu is very, very, very good. But I mean, the last guy that I fought had very good jujitsu. It didn't really end so well for him. He was a brown belt in jujitsu, and I took his belt and wrapped it around his neck and hung him with it. And I don't really care what he is in jujitsu. I'll do the same exact thing to him. I don't really care what belts are because you're getting blasted in the mouth at the same time. So.
And your last opponent, I believe, was like 4-0, so also an undefeated guy, and the fight looked really easy for you.
Yeah, I don't really think about the war. I surrender to the outcome. I don't care what the outcome is. I just love to compete. And I don't really care what records are because they could be fighting soup cans. And just gaslight their record. The record does not mean anything to me. I just go out there and try to surrender to the outcome, and I go out there and put my will on people. And I go out there for one reason only. I don't want to be in there long. I want to go in there and beat the living hell out of somebody, and then get out and then go hang out with my family after. Not really concerned with his record. I don't care. Everybody's undefeated until they meet me. So, everybody's good. Everybody's like, oh, he's a good fighter, blah, blah, blah. He looks great, until they meet me. So I'm just a different level. I have a different mentality. I have a scary mentality. And, I go out there and I will oppose my will on anybody. And I go out there for one reason only, and that's to put someone out.
And of course, you had like wrestling background on in college, on the college level. And
yeah.
When you were in college, did you thought about becoming an MMA fighter at that point, or it happened after this?
So I didn't really think about being a fighter. I mean, I didn't get the satisfaction I wanted in college. I didn't unfortunately make the nationals tournament. I was a 2-year starter at Cleveland State University, and then the pandemic unfortunately hit, and kind of tore up my confidence level in wrestling. and I didn't get really the satisfaction I wanted. And I think that, you know, this is another chance to redeem myself in the athletic perspective. And I didn't get the satisfaction I wanted, so I wanted to try something else. And, you know, when I first came to Cleveland, Stipe Miocic was fighting Alistar Overeem in Cleveland, and I went to the weigh-in stuff on my official visit and saw the amount of support system he has, and looked around and saw the entire city in his corner, and I kind of got that inspiration to become a fighter, and was like, I might want to do this. And then, like, after wrestling and battling a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that, turned my life around, and I wanted to continue this and drive myself into becoming a better person and a fighter. And it's been a movie ever since, man. And I don't ever look back. I enjoy what I do, and I'm also a school teacher now. I teach the 3rd grade English, so I love giving back to the community as well. Shout out Brilliance Charter School. Shout out the Bears. But yeah, I'm very thankful to have this amount of support with my family, my friends, and the entire city of Cleveland. But you know, fighting to me is an escape. I don't like being in the cage. I mean, it's terrifying. You know, sometimes there's just people. Anyone ever tells you they love being in there, it's true. But at the same time, they are absolutely terrified. It's nerve wracking. You know, you get locked in there with someone else that's trying to hurt. I was trained to hunt you and hurt you, and I don't ever feel more alive than when I'm in there. I feel like a gladiator, a warrior, and you know, there's no other high like it, because that's why it's so hard to see guys retire, you know, in this sport, because you'll never get a high like that in any sport, whether it's football, NBA, or basketball, excuse me, like baseball. Like, there's no better high than going out there and pretty much committing a crime and getting away with it, pretty much. So, yeah.
Yes, it's very hard to be a retired fighter, and we can see that there are like many fighters after a few months or a few years they want to be back. They said that they are retired, but it's like you said, it's this kind of feeling that they are like super great, super skillful in this area, and that they actually want to be back.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, if you look at Tony Ferguson, he's lost 8 in a row, and he just knows that he's not done. It's just it's a high. It's adrenaline high, you know. And you know, Matt Brown retired. He even says, dude, it's a high. It's, you know, Matt Brown doesn't need to prove to anybody. Matt Brown's an absolute dog. One of the best, in my opinion, one of the best of all time. Like, when it comes to like fighting anyone, anytime, and his technique is just unbelievable. Like, met him a few times, absolute awesome dude. You know, and you know, watching guys fight and watching people go away from it, step away from it, it's heartbreaking. You know, because it's an individual sport. You know, like you experience every minute of it, versus the other sports, like you're sitting on benches and may not ever get an opportunity until your name's called. Then your story's written. Like, your story's written when you first walk in the gym, and you know, you take all the you know, the excuses, the hard work. You put all that on you, and when you leave it, it's probably like the biggest like testosterone drop ever, because you know, it's so hard. You don't feel like an alpha male anymore, but like, you want to like find something to compensate it, but you just don't. It's hard. You can't ever. It's very hard to replace.
And right now you're undefeated fighter, and sometimes it's like sometimes we can see that fighters are a little bit like afraid of losing the first fight. And do you have any like maybe stress because of it, or even if you lose, it wouldn't really matter, because you know that you will have like many more fights to prove that you are like great fighter?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's, I mean, like I said before, like, winning and losing is a very like hard concept to overcome. But a very good friend of mine, Giant DeJulius, he said something that really stuck to me. Excuse me. It was like surrendering the outcome. You know, I don't fight not to lose. I surrender the outcome, whether I win or lose. I just love to compete. And the difference between people that love winning, right, and who hate losing, right? Obviously it sucks, but you got to know how to surrender to the outcome, especially in this sport, because on your worst day, like, you can always be better, but being able to love to compete, and then you'll get the outcome you want, and I've lived by that since I've heard it, and I could not say it any better than what Johnny said. But I think that at the same time, just in general, was fighting is terrifying. It's scary. It's it's breathtaking. It's an experience that not a lot of people. It's a lifestyle that a lot of people refuse to do. We put our health on the line that can permanently damage our lives. And this is every time we step in there, we go out there and we put our life on the line. So that's how I always take that into consideration as well. I go out there and I try to kill somebody.
And then overall, like many great fighters, it's like hard to pick anyone who didn't lose the fight. Of course, there is a Khabib, but there is like thought that maybe if he can fight for like 2 or 3 more years, he would lose something. But like GSP, Anderson Silva, everybody loses. So I think that to be honest, it's like the losses in MMA doesn't really matter, because you can be like 15-5 fighter and you are still great. And in boxing there is a little bit different situation, because they like to be like 30-0, 40-0.
Yeah, they like to fight soup cans. Like, at our gym, we love to fight guys that are good. We train to fight for the best guy. And I'm not training to fight a guy that I'm not training to fight Christian Maranozzi. I'm training to fight the guy that has something that's better than me, and like guys that are in the UFC right now. I'm training to fight those guys. And my hardest battles are in my room. I mean, I wrestle with Stipe. I kickbox with AJ Dobson. I've I've sparred with Alexa Chamora, all guys that are in the UFC, and guys that were in the Bellator, the vets, guys that have been in the game twice as long as I have. And, being able to train with those guys and get my ass kicked in there, I'm like, well, I'm definitely not getting my ass kicked out there, because these guys don't have the training partners like I do. And the coaching I have at Strong Style, Marcus Marinelli, Alex Cooper, Bob Khalil, like, it's a spectacular staff. And I know for a fact there ain't no tougher room in the Midwest than Strong Style, because I got Stipe Miocic as a wrestling partner, and it's fun to roll with him, even though he's like 250 pounds of just steel, and it's an awesome experience to learn from him as well. And, be a sponge and soak up the knowledge and watch the chemistry between them and the coaching staff. But yeah, just in general, that's pretty much it, man.
It's the best way to have the tough rounds in the gym, and in your fights we can see that you are destroying everybody, and then it's like much better this way than have easy rounds in the training camp, and in the fight you like have not great results.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good result thing to have. It's just, I don't really try. Like, I go out there and I don't take my eyes off them until the ref yanks me off them. Like, I usually stare at people's souls, and like, if I see them look away, I already got them. I'm like, I got them. And like, you don't take your eyes off me. If I see you take your eyes off me, you're not even focused. You're just focused on the outcome. Like, and if they focus on the outcome, they're going to be waking up with a ref on top of them. Like, and to me, I literally, I go to a different place when I'm fighting, and like, my coaches, my friends, and family can tell you, like, when I flip the switch on, it's a different person. I'm a very nice person outside. I mean, heck, I teach third grade English. I teach kids, and I'm always around kids. I'm around parents, and I'm a very high personality guy. But when they lock that cage, it's Mr. Archangelo is gone. It's the Archangel in there now. So it's locked in. Body bags and toe tags for sure.
I think that it's great that you are a teacher and the like kids can see what like hard
Mhm.
work can do. That you are a wrestler. That right now you are a fighter. That you can be very skillful and like talented in doing something.
Yeah,
I think that it can be like also a kind of inspiration for the especially younger people.
absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. Being able to encourage the youth, especially the youth today, it's very they don't really have a backbone today. It's very the society has become very soft, and in my opinion, I think being able to give those kids some knowledge about what life really is, and nothing can be given to you. It's got to be earned, and I grew up in an Italian Irish house. It's in like in Delaware, like 45 minutes south of Philly. It was tough. Like my parents gave me tough love, but they taught me how to win. They taught me how to respect losing, and like being able to overcome it. Like nothing is given to you. You got to work for everything you have. Like, and then everything. Sometimes things fall in your lap when you work hard. And things like that. But at the end of the day, I am here to prove myself and keep winning the small battles too. Like just winning days. I try to win more days than losing days.
And before you said that Stipe is one of your wrestling training partners, and of course he will be fighting against Jon Jones. So if you
Yeah.
can tell me what do you think about this fight and how Stipe looks right now, like a few months before the bout.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Stipe is in the best shape of his life, and a lot of people are counting him out because they're saying he's a little older, and Jon Jones is old too. Don't forget that. I mean, and he's not the same Jon Jones as he's, the way he's fought against Gustafsson and Reyes. Like he's not the same guy. He's got fresh fat on his belly. Like going up to heavyweight's a different ball game. Stipe has been a heavyweight for his entire career, so he will never lose that heavyweight strength. You know, and and Stipe is very proportionate. He's got elite wrestling. He has spectacular jiu-jitsu, which he doesn't really need to showboat it a lot. And his boxing is unreal. I mean, you've seen what he's done in the heavyweight world. Like he's dropped Overeem. He's beaten Ngannou when Ngannou was Ngannou, and he was the same weight as Ngannou. And it's different. There are a lot of people say, "Oh, the last fight he's had, he got dropped by Ngannou." Listen, like Ngannou was 260 when at the weigh-ins. Stipe was 230, and trying to wrestle a guy with 35 pounds of 35 pounds on you, it's gonna be hard to take down, 100%. And if they were the same weight, it would have happened the same fight like there was the first fight. Like Stipe 5-0'd him, and and that's why when I'm thinking of the Jones fight, their styles are very, very similar, And if you look like what Adesanya did when he went up to 205 against Blachowicz, that had decent wrestling, it's different. And I don't think Cyril Gane is a very good wrestler. I don't think he's a good wrestler, and I don't think he's a good fighter in general. Because again, especially the matchmaking against Jones, I expected nothing less. Jones smokes him 10 out of 10 times. And, it showed what it looked like when Ngannou was having a bar burner with Cyril Gane. I'm like, come on, man. Like, Jones is is the best of all time. There's no debate of that. He's very inspiring, but he's going against my brother. So like, I'm not a biased person, but like, if there's anyone that can beat Jon Jones, it is Stipe Miocic. Like, a lot of people don't want to see this fight, but like, it is a fight that a lot of people count out. Like, the 205 Teixeira, like, no one thought he was going to win, like, against Yuri, a guy that was younger, faster, stronger, right? And he ended up beating him. Like, he beat somebody pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, the age doesn't matter. This is in the best shape. Like, Stipe he's an 8-pack, man. He's in great shape. He's a fireman. He's working. He's raised an awesome family. And he's in the gym every day working. And we're waiting for Jones, you know, and we're ready. Like we want that fight, and I'm looking forward to be a part of it. And, you know, and I really think, you know, it's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's Jon Bones Jones, you know, and I think that, you know, the guy that Stipe is, it's unmatched. You know, he's been in heavyweight his entire career. Jones is like, he's got fresh fat. It's not foundated, you know, and yeah, I got Stipe winning the fight, in my opinion.
Yes, and actually, John had just one fight in the heavyweight division, and it was a quite quick one. So it's hard to tell
It's
how
hard to
he gonna.
tell. I mean, he got kicked in the nuts and then kind of paused, and you know, Gon is not a grappler; he's a kickboxer. So I mean, if I'm fighting a kickboxer, yeah, I would do the same exact thing, you know. And Stipe did the exact same thing to Nagano. I mean, it was, you know, it's 30-pound difference, you know, because we were fighting for speed when we fought Cormier, and it paid off significantly. And you know, like then when the Nagano fight, it was a little bit of a fluke, in my opinion. I mean, it's Francis Nagano. He was hot, you know. It was a, you know, but I mean, this is a different Stipe Miocic. Like it's a very very great matchup for Jones, because he's like Jones and Stipe are seasoned. You know, they fought, all of them have fought the best, and Stipe is the best heavyweight of all time. And no, win or lose, they can't take that from him. You know, but think about if Stipe beats Jones. I mean, where's the convo now? Like Stipe, it probably is one of the best fighters out there. You know, so that's my take on it.
And of course that like you said, you are a like fighter, you are a teacher, but so you are a busy man. But when you have a little bit more free time, what do you like to do? Do you have like additional maybe hobby, maybe something outside of MMA?
Yeah, so I mean, I teach kids too. I teach kickboxing and boxing with the youth. I do like spending time with my friends, my teammates. I like getting my teammates better. You know, I love when people ask me if I can get some work in with them, because I like to make sure my teammates are better. Um, but I enjoy being in downtown Cleveland. You know, it's an awesome environment. You know, we got the Cleveland Browns, we got the Indians or Guardians, the Cavaliers, spectacular athletes that support me as well. I have a lot of Browns players come to the fight too. That would be pretty cool. Today is Machine Gun Kelly's day, so I like to go out there and support my boy MGK. But I mean, I like running a lot. You know, I like to socialize and being open minded, open hearted. You know, and you know, give back to the community as well. That's why I like to do a lot of charity events and like speak at schools, and making sure that like shows that I'm very grateful for the community. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it though. Like I don't really do much. I go out, I work. I'm a hardworking guy, you know. Like I said, I teach third grade, you know, give back to the kids. Then right after school, I go to the gym, teach more kids how to defend themselves. And then I get ready for my practice, and then I repeat the same process, you know. I love what I do. It's awesome. I have an amazing support system from my family, my friends, and the Strong Style Army. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, Chase. So many thanks for the conversation. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and to be honest, even more to like start off your pro career, because I think
Yeah,
that from the fight that I have a chance to see, it will be a like quite interesting one, and you in my opinion have a really like big potential to be like a very good pro fighter with great results.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm super excited, you know, to get my ticket punched. Um, I'm looking at a couple of organizations right now for my pro debut. Maybe a couple of fights in Europe with my friend Marco Matson. He has an awesome fighting organization. He just opened up, Dominance FC. I've known Mark for about 9 years. I wrestled over there on the for the United States, and I went to Denmark and trained with him for a bit when he was getting ready for the 16 Olympics. So it's pretty cool to have that connection. So I might take my talents to Europe, but who knows? We're gonna get this fight done, and then we're gonna have a big conversation of what I want to do, and I'll be able to drop elbows finally, because I probably would finish my fights a lot faster if I was allowed to drop elbows on people. But Ohio rules, can't drop elbows just yet. But I'm super excited to enhance my craft when I turn professional. I think it's going to make me all around a better fighter because I'm not restricted anymore, and I'll be able to beat the living daylights out of people more and make more people bleed.
So maybe your pro debut will be in Denmark, and the finish will be with elbows.
Finish with elbows, 100%, because I am dying to throw those motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but I am dying to throw them.
Okay, so once again, thank you for the time.
Absolutely, man. I'm really happy to be on here, man.